2 a.m. and you've got your PJs on and your baby is screaming, you gotta throw them in the car seat, or you gotta wake up your husband or your wife or whatever. You don't want to be that person. Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're just joining me, my name is Larissa and I am a mom to a 10-month-old little boy. And in today's video, I'm going to be going over the essentials that you need in a baby's medicine kit. So as a first-time mom, I noticed that a lot of the recommended videos on YouTube are what to have in your diaper bag. But nobody really talks about what to have in a medicine bag, which I feel as a mom is so much more important than what to put in your baby's diaper bag. You're gonna figure that out along the way, and there's a lot of helpful YouTubes out there, I plan on making one as well, that will tell you what to put in your baby's diaper bag. But in a situation where your baby is screaming or crying and they need something to make them feel better, something that you don't have just laying around the house because babies can't have the medicine you have, that's times that you need the things that I'm gonna go over in this video. Number 1, infant's Tylenol. The reason you need this, you absolutely have to have this in your child's medicine kit, is because babies are more susceptible to getting fevers than adults are. So let's say you take your baby out of the bath and the temperature in the house is a little bit colder than the baby can handle, your baby might run a fever. Or if they get any kind of germs, they could run a fever, and you have to get your baby's fever down immediately. I know your first thought is going to be take them to urgent care, but what if urgent care is closed and the only option you have is to take them to the emergency room and that's hours away, or you can't get a hold of your doctor? You need this. You absolutely have to have this. You give your baby this and their fever should be down, hopefully in the next 20 minutes to half hour, and then you can take them to the doctor while it's working its magic. But infant's Tylenol, absolutely crucial. Number 2 is a digital thermometer. I recommend the Frida brand that's specifically designed for an infant's rectal temperature taking. The reason for that is because this is the one we have, which, I mean, it works fine, but look at how long that tip is. Do you see that tip? So when I'm taking my son's temperature and he starts wiggling his little booty around, this thing, it's a little bit hard to make sure it doesn't go deeper than it should, which is why I recommend specifically the infant's rectal thermometer. I'm going to link it down below. Also, it's important to note that if your baby is sick and you take a reading from one of these, the doctor usually will not accept that reading, or they'll want you to go and get a different thermometer to get a rectal reading. These ones, we got this one at first, which I'm sure if you've looked at baby things, you've seen this online. One similar to this. This also pulls out into an ear one, and let me tell you, this thing is not accurate whatsoever. We have a digital thermometer that we put in our mouth and we've compared it to this, and this thing can sometimes be 2 to 3 degrees off. So you absolutely do not want to get one of these. I don't recommend it. These are not good. Number 3, and this one isn't necessarily like you have to have it, but I recommend it. It's just for convenience, and that is a sterile pad or swab. They call them both, alcohol swab. The reason for this is because when you want to take your baby's temperature, you gotta sanitize the thermometer, stick it in, and then you gotta sanitize it when it comes out. It's also nice to have these if your baby cuts themselves, because babies with their long nails, they tend to cut their faces and things like that. And so just taking one of these alcohol wipes and wiping their little cuts and things like that, that way you know it's clean and sterile. I recommend these. Again, it's not one of those things that you have to have in your medicine bag, but I think it's helpful to have. And they're super inexpensive, so just get them. Just get them. Number 4 is the nose Frida. That's at least the brand I use. This knot sucker. They're also called aspirators, I believe, where it's like the little ball with the tube. I personally prefer the nose Frida because it's just easier to use, I feel like, than the little syringe ones that they give you at the hospital. And this way you could see what's coming out. My little boy has GERD, and so he used to throw up all the time as a baby. And I remember there was a couple instances where he was throwing up and he had milk and snot coming out his nose and his mouth. There was one time this happened and he kept throwing up and he couldn't breathe. If I did not have this thing, I genuinely don't know what I would do because he couldn't breathe. So I grabbed this thing as fast as I could. It's missing the filter right now, but a filter goes right there. So you just slip this sucker on and you suck it out. And then you put this up their nose. Of course, you need the saline solution, which I'm going to link one that actually comes with the saline solution in there. I had to buy this separately because I didn't realize you needed saline solution, so that's super important. When you're going to suck it out, you're going to puff that up your baby's nose. This is the one we have. You're going to put that up your baby's nose, and then you're going to put this part up your baby's little nostril, and then you're just going to suck it. The filter makes it so that none of the snot goes in your mouth. I was really terrified about that as a first-time mom, thinking, I'm going to suck my baby's snot out and it's going to get in my mouth. It does not. It does not get in your mouth. These are the little filters. They come in here. The little... I don't know if you can see it very well. But see, they're little foam things, and they go in this little tube. Sorry, I should have been more prepared for this. Oh my goodness, what am I even doing? See, but it goes right there. I don't know how well you can see that. So when you're sucking the snot out, like, it comes through that little hole, and then it gets sucked, and it stops. Like, it just stops in there. And then you just pull this thing out, and you pour it in the sink, or wherever, and then you clean this. I will put this in the dishwasher, just in the top rack, and it's totally fine. Number 5, baby safety swabs. I know you're thinking, what the heck is a safety swab? It's a Q-tip. I just call it a Q-tip, an ear thing, but I call them Q-tip, which I know is the brand. Q-tip. I don't even think Q-tip makes baby ones, but this is the baby one. So as you can see, this thing stops. So when you're cleaning their ears out, it stops. Or if you have to put it in their nose, it doesn't shove up. So these are definitely an essential for your baby's medicine kit. And I'm going to link some down below. Baby safety swabs. Number 6, safety scissors. I know what you're thinking. Safety scissors, what do you mean? For their nails. You will probably get at your baby shower some nail clippers and things like that. Do not use those. My older sister told me to get safety scissors, and I didn't listen to her because I thought, what the heck? Safety scissors? What do you mean? I'm not going to go and use scissors on my child's nails. And she was like, just wait. When you cut your baby's finger as you're trying to clip their fingernails, you're going to feel really, really bad. I was like, no, it's not going to happen. I had a fingernail clipper that had a light on it and a little magnifying glass. And I was like, this isn't going to happen. I'm so careful with him. No. First off, babies don't just sit there as you're cutting their nails, for the most part. I mean, my son was great about it. A lot of times he would just lay there, and I would do it while he was trying to sleep or when he was eating or whatever. But then there was one time, just one time, and that's all it takes, one time, just one time of hurting your baby, and that's it. So one time I was cutting his fingernails, his little tiny baby fingernails, and he moved, and it cut, and it didn't do much damage, but it broke the skin slightly and he started bleeding. I think he was like a month old, if that, at the time. Oh my God, my heart sank. I cannot tell you how bad I felt. And then for like the next week and a half, as his little finger was healing and it had this little tiny gash on it, oh my God. Needless to say, as soon as I did that, I got online and I ordered these. So that's what these are. They're little baby safety scissors. And you just cut their little nails. And I've been using these since, like I said, my son was like a month old. He's 10 months old now. They are amazing. I've never cut my son since I've been using these. They're incredible. Get these. Get these now. Number 7 is gas relief drops. The brand I use is Infant's Milocon. Milocon? Anyway. A lot of people don't realize it, but when you first bring your baby home from the hospital and within those next couple weeks, sometimes your baby will be screaming and crying and you have no idea why, and nothing you do will calm your baby down. A lot of times it's because they have gas, and that will make your baby a miserable baby, and a miserable baby makes a miserable parent. So you need this. This, let me see. Number 1 brand recommended by pediatricians. You can use this as soon as you take them home from the hospital, And I think you can use it like 16 times a day. It's crazy. Let me see. Okay, I don't have the box anymore, but what you do is you just squirt it in their mouth. It was either before or after you feed them. And then it makes it so that when they're drinking, whether it's breast milk or formula, that it helps prevent them from getting gas. And if you feel like they might be getting gassy, you give them this. This is the bottle. I don't have the box anymore, but that's the bottle. So I highly recommend this. This was actually recommended to me by my husband's aunt, and her kids are in their 20s now. So this has been around that long. I don't even know how long it was around before then, but I can say that this brand has been around over 20 years, and this is what my husband's aunt's doctor recommended for her to use with her sons. And then I asked my doctor about it, and they said, absolutely, give that to your son. Of course, this was before he got on a regular GERD medication. So yes, highly recommend this. So earlier this year, we had to use number 8 and number 9 for my son like crazy. And I am so thankful that I had this in my medicine kit. I just had this in my medicine kit because earlier I had been doing research and it said put this in there. And thank the Lord I had it. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and tell you what it is. So my number 8 is the Zarbee's, sorry, I'm holding it the wrong way. The Zarbee's cough syrup and mucus. Oh, I hope you can see that clearly. And then my number 9 is the Vicks BabyRub. Oh man. Okay, so the reason, let me explain why these were so necessary. Okay, I'm pretty sure my son and I both had the coronavirus. The number 19. I don't know YouTube's policies as far as mentioning that, so I'm just making nicknames. But anyway, pretty sure we had that, and we had it for 3 weeks in February. We went to the doctor, and they weren't testing at that time because at that time there wasn't the pandemic going on. Oh no, I don't even know I'm supposed to say that word. Anyway, they didn't test us. They just said, you guys have really, really bad colds, so just wait it out. 3 weeks, you guys. 3 weeks. That's how long me and my son were sick. Colds only last usually about a week. We had it for 3 weeks, and it was only respiratory. And at first we had fevers, and then, yeah, respiratory. But my son, I'm not even kidding you, he could not breathe. And listening to your baby, he was 5 months old, listening to him not being able to breathe at night and just wheezing and thinking, oh my God, what if he can't breathe? I have asthma. What if he has asthma? This stuff, he was basically living off of this. And the doctor told me, keep doing it, keep giving it to him. I think we were giving it to him every 6 hours. I believe that's administer every 4 to 5 hours. Okay, so it says give it to them 4 to 5 hours up to 5 times a day. So we were just giving it to him around every 6 hours. This stuff makes it so your baby can breathe. I'm telling you, you absolutely have to have the Zarbee's cough syrup and mucus in your bag, because if your baby gets a cold in the middle of the night, which is what happened to us, he first started showing symptoms where he couldn't breathe, and it was like 2 in the morning, and I was watching him on the baby monitor not breathing very well. So I went and I grabbed this stuff immediately. I remember waking up thinking, oh my God, what if I don't have this stuff? Did I prepare my medicine kit? Yes, I did. So I have this stuff, and we actually went through 3 bottles in that 3 weeks. That's how much we were giving him. I think it was 3, maybe 4 bottles. And then we had this. So this is our 4th or 5th bottle. And it's pretty full. But yeah, you guys have to have this. And then this, the BabyRub Vicks Soothing Ointment. Obviously, I don't know if you've used Vicks VapoRub. Most people have. It's like the menthol relief. This one actually isn't very strong smelling whatsoever. I was expecting to open it and just be wafted by menthol, but you're not. I wonder if this even has... Anyway, I'm just jabbering on. You put this on your baby's feet and then put socks on them when they have a cold or flu, and it helps them breathe. You can also put it on their chest, but I don't recommend that unless they're going to be put in a swaddle or sleeper where they can't access their chest. I just recommend putting it on their feet and putting socks on, because then it helps your baby breathe. These 2 things, colds, they are necessary. Absolutely. Middle of the night, you don't want to be in that situation. So my number 10 is, it should be higher up on the list, but I feel like you don't really need it until your baby's a little bit older. However, there has been situations where the doctor recommends that we do use this along with Tylenol, and this would be infants ibuprofen. Has to be infants, cannot be children's. But this is the one we have, which is an off-brand, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna link the Motrin brand. Sheesh, that is just not zooming in. But infants ibuprofen. Tylenol is a fever reducer. Ibuprofen is an anti-inflammatory. So thank God I have this in my medicine bag because I haven't really used it that much. And like I said, my son is 10 months old. However, 2 nights ago at 2 in the morning, my poor little son has 8 teeth already and he's getting 4 right now. 4 at once. And who knows, he might have molars coming in. He woke up at 2 in the morning screaming bloody murder. Kid you not. And we went in there and he was touching his teeth and crying and crying. And so my husband said, do we have anything that's ibuprofen or something like that that's anti-inflammatory to get his pain to go down a little bit? And luckily I had this in our medicine bag. Thank God. Thank God I was prepared. My son would not have slept. There's absolutely no way he would have gone back to sleep had we not had infants ibuprofen. So you have to have this in your bag when they're teething. I recommend putting it in there before that, but you never know when your baby's teeth are going to come in. And like I said, it could happen in the middle of the night and your baby will not sleep without infants ibuprofen. So these last 2 things are not necessarily essentials that you have to have in your medicine bag. So I'm not even going to list them on the 1 through 10. They're just side notes. We have them in our medicine bag because people recommended them to us. And I have used this several times for my son when I felt like it was flu season, cold season, because my son was born in August of last year. So he was born right before flu season. So I started giving him this early on. And then these, I should tell you what they are instead of saying this and these. Okay, so this is the Zarbee's Immune Support and Vitamins. A friend recommended it. And so when flu season rolls around, it's good to have this and you give it to your baby every single day. And it's just a vitamin to help make sure that they're not going to get sick. And then these, a friend recommended these, which are Boogie Wipes. And what's good about these is they have saline on them. When your baby has snot and mucus, you don't want to wipe it with a tissue or anything like that because you're going to make your baby's face really raw. They have such soft and new skin that using tissues and things like that we would use will make your baby's skin raw. So Boogie Wipes are absolutely essential if your baby has a cold or something like that. I just keep these in my medicine bag as a just in case because you never know. So I recommend you get a bag. This is the bag we have for our son, and this just has all of his medicine essentials in it, so you can see. That way it stays separate from your medicine. I keep this in my son's room, and it has everything that he needs at the drop of a hat. That way I'm prepared for anything. Tip for moms out there. Absolutely never give your baby anything with honey. I think not until they're a year or 2, but check with your pediatrician. It could actually kill them. Anything with honey, it could give them an infection. I cannot remember what that infection is called, but they can get an infection. Their bodies cannot process honey. Do not give them any medicines or anything with honey. Nothing. Till they're a year or 2. Like I said, check with your pediatrician on the exact specifics if it's a year or 2, but no honey. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to link everything that I listed down below. Make sure you get everything. I'm telling you, you do not want to be the parent that's in the middle of the night rushing to the 24-hour drugstore. It's 2 a.m. and you've got your PJs on and your baby is screaming. You got to throw them in the car seat, or you got to wake up your husband or your wife or whatever. You don't want to be that person. Just prepare yourself, get a medicine bag. Like I said, this is the one we have. It's super easy. I love it. We just keep it on our son's shelf, but it has everything we could need in a moment's notice. Good luck. Hopefully you never have to use anything in there. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. You're going to have to use some of the stuff in there. But hopefully you never do. Hopefully your baby stays happy and healthy. If you liked my video, make sure to like it, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more content like this. Thank you for watching. Take care.